Then start the January 27th meeting of the Placer County Planning Commission. And so we'll start off the meeting with recognition of our great country and pledge allegiance to the flag. Could you please join me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, with that, we'll have a roll call.
Okay. Mr. Ricucci. Mr. Denayo. Here. Mr. Sevison. Mr. Gray. Here. Mr. Moss.
He's absent.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Brentnall.
Okay, thank you. Let me see. Next item on the agenda is a report from the planning director. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I'd like to start out by recognizing our new District 1 Planning Commissioner, Richard Ricucci. Thank you so much for being here. In just a moment, we'll have the official swearing in. Update on a couple of items. The January 25th board meeting. The board considered a couple of items that may be of interest to you. The first was the proposed process for the redistricting of the supervisorial districts. Every 10 years with the census that occurs, district boundaries are redrawn to adjust the population to create a balance in each of the supervisorial districts. It's anticipated that we will have the 2010 census numbers by the end of March, and the board outlined, or the CEO's office outlined, a process to the board of how staff will be moving forward with that redistricting process. It's anticipated that there will be numerous public outreach opportunities, both to the local municipal advisory councils, local cities, all of the special districts, and of course your planning commission will be part of the public hearing process for that. It's anticipated that the final adoption will occur sometime in September. The other issue of importance, the board took action to forward the proposed Placer County Conservation Plan to the state and federal agencies for their review. This is a process that's been going on for the last 5 years based upon the last time a document was submitted to the agencies. And staff will be bringing that item back to your commission at your February 24th meeting to give you an update and make you aware of what's happening with that plan. Your February 10th meeting has been canceled to allow for a special meeting on February 17th. On February 17th, we will be having a special meeting up at Lake Tahoe to consider the draft EIR for the Homewood Resort project. You have a copy of that draft EIR at your seats this morning, and there will be more information forthcoming on that special meeting. Lastly, just an update on your February 24th agenda. There are a couple of zoning text amendments. One, a proposed amendment to the sign ordinance to allow for additional temporary signs as directed by the, or recommended by the board. And secondly, there will be a presentation or a proposed zoning text amendment on temporary outdoor ag events. Any questions or comments? Great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we open up the floor to public comment. And so if there's anybody here that isn't here to address one of the items on the agenda, this is your time to step forward. Okay, not seeing anybody, then we'll go on, and we do have some oath of office to enter into. We have a new member as well as two members that have been reappointed. And so, let me see, I'm looking for who's going to administer the oath. Oh, here we go. Kathy.
Mr. Ricucci, Mr. Sevison, and Mr. Denayo, please stand.
Is this required?
It is required, unfortunately. Yes. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Mary Sevison,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance,
True faith and allegiance
thank you, to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservations
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties that I am about to.
Thank you.
Okay, well, welcome aboard. And a couple of you, welcome aboard again. Okay, let me see. Our first timed item is.
I got one of these yesterday, so I'll give this one back. Thank you.
Okay, the first item on our agenda is a conditional use permit for Vulcan pavement plant project, which is down west of Roseville. And let me see, we have Lisa that's going to make a presentation for us. So the microphone is yours.
Good morning and welcome. Before you today is a request from Vulcan Materials to consolidate two existing use permits on adjacent properties, one for a hot asphalt mix plant and the other for a recycling asphalt and concrete plant, and to also add a recycled or reclaimed asphalt pavement plant and onto the unused portion of one of the properties. This is an effort to help all of the operations function more completely as a unit. As you can see, this is out in western Placer County. Here is Highway 80. Project location is here off of Dell Road. PFE Road comes down and Dell Road. Here's Dry Creek here. The zoning of the area is IN-UPDC, industrial use permit required with a design scenic corridor. This is the Sacramento County line. Below this is heavy industrial zone. Over here on the eastern border is City of Roseville, also industrial. This whole area of the county is industrial. As you can see, here is the site with the existing asphalt plant, the existing recycle plant, and the portion of the property that they want to expand onto. To the north of the property, you have a ready-mix concrete plant, industrial warehousing, auto wrecking, industrial manufacturing. Over here, you have the drainage to Dry Creek, which is up in this area. And the closest residence is approximately 2,400 feet over here in Sac County. This is the aerial of the existing site, showing the existing asphalt plant, CUP 1338, which was approved by the zoning administrator in 1990. This was originally owned by Industrial Asphalt Company, which later became Vulcan. And then in 1996, the zoning administrator approved a minor use permit for this parcel, which allowed concrete and asphalt recycling. In 1998, they came in for a modification which allowed them to increase their stockpile area onto this eastern portion of this lower piece of property. In the staff report, this says parcel 002. It was meant to be 020. So what they're looking for now is to take these stockpiles from the existing hot mix asphalt plant, relocate them down onto this plant portion of the property, and add in this area a reclaimed or recycled asphalt pavement plant. What they would also do is they would take down this interior fencing and landscaping so that the whole thing can function as a more cohesive unit. And they would modify the import-export hours of the concrete and asphalt recycle plant to match the existing hot mix asphalt plant. This is a view of the proposed project showing you the relocation of those stockpiles, which were on the northern portion down. Can we somehow get the lights a little bit lower? It's kind of hard to see the,
Can't see the pointer.
I was going
You
to say,
can't
did
see
you
the
have that
pointer.
pointer on? Because either I'm going to have to go get my glasses checked.
on the northern portion, you see where the trucks are queued. That is where the stockpiles used to be. The stockpiles would be relocated to the western portion of that bottom parcel. And the wrap plant, which is right here, would be added in the future. And the wrap plant or recycled or reclaimed asphalt pavement plant uses asphalt cuttings from the roads, and it's a green product, so they can use a portion of that in the hot mix asphalt plant. And it saves all that rubble from going into the landfills.
Great thing.
With the exception of this portion here, with the exception of that expansion, staff's position is that these other portions of the use permit have been exercised. They've been in existence, this one for 20 years. So it's only this portion that's being phased in. And staff has included, and there's a revised condition of approval 65 in front of you, and the applicant has been given the revised condition, and it's also over for the public to view, which talks about the phasing in of moving to first the grading, putting in the exterior fencing and landscaping, moving the stockpiles, and finally putting in the wrap plant.
Where's the?
One issue that came up in environmental review was any potential noise, so we had them do a noise study, and the noise consultant came back. Their existing plant, which is right here, caused there to be an excess over and above the noise ordinance level of 75 decibels LDN at the property. So they're going to be installing an exhaust silencer. It's an exhaust stacked duct silencer at the existing bag house. So that will bring that down to 72 at the western property line, and that will work with the noise ordinance. And no other mitigations for noise were necessary. The proposed project was taken to the Dry Creek Western Placer Mac as an action item on a couple of weeks ago at their January 12th meeting, and they voted 3-0 in favor to recommend approval of the project. The Development Review Committee recommends that the Planning Commission approve this project, which would consolidate the 2 existing use permits and add the wrap plant in, subject to the findings and conditions of approval in the staff report. And also, staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve the mitigated neg deck, which was prepared for this project based upon the findings in the staff report. And I can answer any questions you may have.
Questions?
Yeah, I had one question concerning, it looked like there was a border for, right there where there's trees, are those going to be removed between the existing asphalt plant and, yeah, right there. Those are to be removed so they can facilitate going back and forth, is that the idea?
Correct.
Are they relocated anywhere?
Right, there will be, there's a condition of approval that the whole perimeter needs to be fenced, well, most of the perimeter is fenced already with the exception of this portion, but it will, landscaping will be.
Applied on this? Okay, so,
Okay, I might just have a couple questions. Let me see, across the line into Sacramento County, when you look at the aerial photographs, it appears that there's been something going on down there that's consistent with this one. Are those part of the same, I mean, is the same owner, same project, or?
Actually, that was the previous owner who had illegally gone down into the area of Sac County. Since Vulcan has taken over, they've cleaned up any areas that, because the previous owner had actually gone into this portion also. So they have, the Vulcan has been working diligently with the county to take care of all the past violations from the previous owner, including they were supposed to have put in they had a temporary trailer up here, and Vulcan came in and made that right also. So.
See, I saw a reference to a possible subdivision, Antelope Oaks, in the write-up, talking about a temporary gate, and if the subdivision's ever built or some.
I'm not following you there.
Where did I see that? I think I saw it in the conditions.
Oh, okay. Right, fire and emergency, and if that should ever, I just spoke with Bob Eichholz this morning of the fire, and he was satisfied with everything they've done. They do have an emergency access vehicle gate right here currently, and fire was.
Okay with that? Yeah. So Antelope Oaks Court, is that some kind of industrial proposal, or what is that? It's not a residential proposal.
No, because all of this is zoned IN, this is INUPDC. Let me go back to the zoning. And then you have industrial park past that. So there is no residential zoning within this whole area. It's all industrial.
Okay. So that's just somebody's future plans, and this is providing for access to that parcel that is needed in the future, I guess.
Correct.
Okay.
I just have one quick question on the noise portion. Now, when they install the new silencer on the stack, now, will the county go back and measure it and check off that they met that sound requirement?
Yeah, that will likely be done by, they'll give us a subsequent report once they have installed it. They'll have their consultant, I would imagine, go back out and check and give us a subsequent report.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe one more question, too. I read some height limits as well as tied with setbacks, and maybe you could explain that a little bit. I couldn't really figure it out very well.
Well, they have some, I don't know if I've got I think at the very end, I have, currently they're allowed 76 feet, which is over the limit in that area, but they have a setback that they have to have those structures on the interior portion of the property. For every foot they go over, they have to bring the structures in.
Oh.
So that's why these structures are in the interior of the property. And they are allowed 76 feet from their previous use permits, and the new plant would be no higher than what is already out there.
Okay, and it meets the setback requirements.
And it meets the setback requirements.
Okay. Thank you. Any further questions? Okay, seeing none. Thank you, Lisa.
Okay. Did you have one?
Well, I was just going to ask. I
Oh,
was
okay,
looking-
sorry about
That's
that.
all right. I was
Good you're observing.
He wasn't paying attention.
I didn't see the wheels
I'm
turning.
Well, I was reading, and so I was trying to find if there was any discussion as to whether they were only allowed to process their own material that they took out and brought in, Or could he bring some from Forest Hill and put it in this plant and have it processed and?
Yeah, I think anybody can do it because actually I use the facility on recycling
Yeah,
and
well, that's good.
asphalt.
Yeah, I just was curious if they were going to have restrictions or it was going to be open to just anyone could bring some in and
Yeah, anyone can.
pay a fee or whatever is appropriate.
And then the asphalt and concrete recycling, just so it's clear, is used for the road base, miscellaneous road base. It's not used in the wrap plant. So for the wrap plant, it's just the asphalt that's used, that's taken out from other areas. So.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing?
Okay, thank you, Lisa.
Welcome.
Okay, would the project owner or proponent like to step forward?
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is John Boada, owner of Boada Associates, a land use and environmental planning firm located in Fresno, California. I've worked with Vulcan Materials for many years, and I'm happy to represent them today on this project. I also have with me today Steve Grace, who's the regional manager for Northern Central California for business development and resources, and also Sean Harrigan, who's the district operations manager, if you have any specific questions that you have for them. We are in agreement with all the conditions. I do want to make sure that I thank all the members that we've worked for from the county, for the different agencies. We've had a very good working relationship. We've worked out everything out ahead of time, and that's why we're here today, that we can support all the conditions. And I want to thank them for their professionalism and cooperation on this project. The last condition, 65, that we had some modifications to today that were handed to today, we just wanted to clarify. I think it's I'm pretty sure we know what it is, but is that the timing on the phasing of the expansion site is that we need to put the fence in within 3 years. We had agreed to that initially. And that if we put it in 1 year, we still have 10 years to get the wrap plan in, if I understand that correct. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. We just wanted to clarify. Okay. If there's any questions, any more clarifications or anything else that you need, I'll be happy to answer them. Nothing?
Okay, do I see some wheels turning down there still? Maybe, no? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody from just the neighborhood or the public here that would like to make a comment? Okay, see people looking around, but I don't see anybody standing up, so seeing none, okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And
Just want to make one quick comment. I had the opportunity of attending the MAC out there and the Dry Creek area when this plan was presented, and I think the only concern that several of the people, or at least one person, had to do with any kind of a traffic increase and this and that, but that was the only concern. But so I've been through this twice, and I was telling Larry, I think sometimes I have to hear things twice and then they kind of sink in, but now I really got a good picture of what they're doing out there. I want to thank them for making it clear for me.
okay, very good. Well, I'll bring it back to the commission then.
Well, you want, Ken?
Yeah, we're open for whatever the commission wants to do.
You want to make a motion?
No, you go ahead. It's in your neighborhood.
Okay. I'd make a motion that we approve the conditional use permit, subject to the following findings and the amendments that we have received today.
Second.
Got a second?
Yes.
Yes.
And also, right, you got to include the environmental document.
Yeah, that's when I said everything.
Who's that? Is that yours, Larry?
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry.
That is you.
Okay, well, we have a motion and a second. And so I'll go ahead and call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, folks. Okay. Well, it looks like we have one more item here, rather intense, huh? And so
Yeah.
this is an opportunity to vote for our chairman, vice chairman, and secretary for next year. We rotate offices on an annual basis, depending on what the commission wants to do.
And
So,
maybe if I can add, Mr. Chairman, there is also a suggested order that's been placed in front of you
Okay.
for your use.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move the chairman, vice chairman, and secretary be in order, and the next 3 people move up proportionally, and they'd be elected to those positions. I couldn't find my sheet.
Here it is, right there.
All right, well, then it would be Richard Johnson for chairman, Jeff Moss for vice chairman, and Mickey Gray for secretary.
Okay, I hear,
second that.
hear a second? First, okay, so at any rate, folks, I'll go ahead and call for the question.
Are you not going to give a speech or anything?
Oh, I have to get, well,
I just want to make.
we got to be voted first, we got to
Why don't
vote
we
first.
vote first, because we may not get a consensus
What if it
here.
isn't a unanimous?
So he may not have to give a speech. I just want to make a comment. I noticed that being the new member here, that I am last on the list, and that's fine with me.
Okay. So-
Time served.
Okay, so I'll call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Now you make your speech.
Huh?
Now you have to make your speech.
Oh, well, I will faithfully attend and do a good job. Oh, yeah.
I was thinking you were going to be buying lunch for everybody.
That's why you voted for him, huh?
Yeah, I didn't want to go to Forest Hill to get it, though.
Okay, well. One of the commission members or somebody has anything they just want to add for the good of the commission? Hearing
Oh,
none?
it's a wonderful group.
I just want to say that I'm looking forward to serving on the commission, and I've already had some good contacts with Mr. Johnson and some of the staff people, so I'm looking forward to the 2 meetings we have already scheduled for February.
Good. And so with that, thank you. Welcome aboard, and I'll go ahead and close the meeting.